gonna do some car work again. Not that car. That car. So I drove an A8L back from Arizona, and it's got a pretty decent coolant leak, and it needs some plugs done because it's got a misfire. You can feel it on hard acceleration, and sometimes it burps low at idle. So hopefully it's the plugs and not one of the coil packs, but if we end up doing everything, it would be sad. Got a really good deal on it. Okay, number 3, hood struts are busted. So I got my trusty copper tube. There's people talking about removing the coolant reservoir, like, and removing these struts to get to the plugs. I just don't see why that's necessary. I'd like to move as little as possible. You really just need Torx bits to get the electronics off the top. And then there's a coil puller that pulls nice and even so you don't separate them. I'd imagine that these will probably be not too bad considering they get changed all the time. They're factory, they're a copper plug. I'm going to switch to iridiums, but my own personal reasons for that with past vehicles, but coppers work just fine. They just, you got to take them out after 15K. Okay, so here's all the stuff I pulled out. Obviously all Florida coil packs, your, whatever these are. Oh, that's probably for the variable valve timing. These probably go for the valves. That'd be my guess. One for intake, one exhaust, so they can close cylinders off and turn them into air springs. So connectors up here, you go into it. Oh, this one does too. I don't know if these, oops, broke it. So that's the third one that broke. Son of a bitch. Oh, that's unfortunate. Of course, it's still stuck on there. Let's figure out how to get that out. Okay, no, that's completely obliterated. I'm going to get some new connectors from the dealer. Oh, look at that. There's a, that line got torn as well. So, hopefully that won't shorten in the rain. But, should be this Torx bit up here, holding it down. And then these engines run hot already, and then living in Arizona, oh, they're, stuff just breaks in the plastics, especially when you come to Michigan and it's 14 out. Hopefully we don't rip any of the coils in half. That would suck. Coolant hoses on that side and then big wires on this side, so it really has to like flip up with this as a pivot. The price snap on me too. Oh, nope, didn't. There it goes. Okay. Pull too hard on anything. It's still holding us down. Really just this side and this guy. So I'm going to unplug that, figure out how to route that through. So this will all come up and out of the way of those coils. Alright, got one pack off. It slid right out, real easy. They don't have a lot of grease in there. They're just dried out. Got a new plug. Normally I wouldn't number them, but this time I'm going to, just because it's the first time. And if any of these are super clean, I'll be worried about a head gasket and not a coolant leak. But I can smell it when I start the car off, so I don't think it's a gasket. Yeah, so I'll just pull this one out, and then the rest are rinse and repeat. Pretty easy. And then on these engines, it should be driver's or passenger side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think. I didn't look it up, but that's what I kind of recall. These are torqued to 30 newtons. Supposed to be. Oh, it's crunchy. Still threaded in, so I use my hose. I brought a magnet just in case, but get the right size rubber hose. This is great for installing them without cross threading. You seat wells like this. Yeah, I mean, the color's not bad. It's definitely worn. If they all look like that, I'll be pretty happy. Getting home. New one. Iridium instead of copper, so we'll see how that works out. There's a bunch of guys that are Debbie Downers about it. Oh, there's crusties in there. Let's see if I can get those out. There we go. New plug. Impossible to strip the threads this way. You can basically turn it by hand until it seats if the threads are clean, and then you'll know that, yeah, there's the squeaky parts. Yeah. It has a torque value on the box, sometimes they show that. That's for tapered seat. They show a tapered seat and how to torque it. This has a gasket, so 30 newtons is Audi's spec for this engine. So that's what it's going to get. I'll have to go find a wrench. The smaller wrench doesn't go to 30 newtons, which I don't like using the bigger wrench for small torques, but we'll have to do. Okay. Doesn't feel like a lot, but felt like for breakaway torque. Oh yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, giant wrench like that, it's hard to tell. Yeah, this fire was cylinder 1, so this one, I'll show that plug when I get to it, but really it's the same thing, you just do it 8 times, right? A little bit of, I use Seal Glide, I like this stuff. I've had this bottle for ages, and you don't want to get it on the electrode, you just kind of want it on this inside edge to make a nice seal. Like, I don't like having a big lump on there like that, so pull it out, and that's enough. You can use dielectric grease too, but the silicone stuff works well. These are a T30, just like on the rail. I think I said T27, but it's not, it's a T30. I already pulled all the screws out, so if I get distracted or you have to leave it here for a week or something dumb like that, I know that it's got the bolt back in it and the plug's down. So I'll check back in when I get to cylinder 1 where I actually have the misfire code finally, but I don't expect anything exciting to go on until then. Put it all back in. Set the rail back in place, and this guy was below that engine mount or engine lifting point. Yeah, so I unplugged this, which that one, yeah, these two needed to be unplugged for sure, or it wouldn't have come this way. This guy needed to be unplugged so I could pull this end out and get more space. See if he'll go back in without too much trouble. There's not a lot of space up there. You can make more space over here by doing downpipes and getting rid of those cats. Yay. And then let's go left from right. So we should have 8 of these guys. Then that gray tab goes down. Click, click, clicks in, push down, again, push down. One of these I broke, which is sad. This guy, it's the same style. There's a click on the back. This one that I busted up, something awful. We'll do that one last, maybe. That one snapped, so I want to do something with that. Yeah. All right. I also misnumbered. Started with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a VAE dummy. I haven't had this many cylinders or anything that runs on gasoline in a long time. So this one, the side tabs broke, but the middle part's still there. So I'm hoping It's salvageable. So it fits in place. I was able to grab it with pliers and pull it up. Yeah, so that one's okay. It's not as pretty as his friends, but it's functional. Alright, and then all 4 coils along the bottom there. Oh boy. That one was tough to get out too. Click, you'll hear a click. Yep. The hell are these? We'll deal with that in a minute. Yep, okay, there's the sensor for it. So, coil. And then whatever this sensor is down there. That barely fits. Oh, I bet I took it off with the coil plug off, you idiot. I don't want to bend any of those pins, so. Oops. A lot of oops in today. So this has to go in before the coil plug. It doesn't fit. What is that? It's power steering fluid. Well, I hope not, because it's really low. Okay, I need power steering fluid. Hydraulique. Yeah, only mineral oil, which is a lie. There's a theory that they bought a bunch of caps in the 80s and then refused to update them. So I have some power steering fluid that should work in this. That CHF up there. I'll double check before I pour any in, but yeah, it's low. I hope the rack's not leaking. Back to plugs. Those are in, those are in. Basically have these 3 big boys left. So this needed additional support. This yellow one goes to the top one. That one broke too, I think. Nope, made a cookie sound. Did not break. This one. Okay, so the 3 I broke. This one was salvageable. This one looks okay, and this one was a hairy mess. I mean, it shattered the thing into pieces. And it had a fucked up wire, so I'm going to want to get something around that to help hold it. I mean, it's not coming out, but peace of mind, right? These 2, we get a little zip tie on each one just to make sure they don't vibrate or do anything weird. Alright, I'm going to use this stuff. It's supposed to be for the 2005 and prior or whatever, but I use it in the Q7 because I think that's what it called for. Oh, so it's barely low. Could even just be the temperature, right? Because it's got on here 20C and 80C, so pretty much dead nuts max of the cold height. So put it there, see how it goes. Yeah, I bet it was just filled in Arizona. It was a fucking 100 degrees out. Now that it's cold, it shriveled back up like my best friend does after I get out of the pool. So quick update on this side, it was easier to take the airbox out. You got 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here, that plastic tray. It's pretty easy, except I didn't know that was in the bottom. You probably have to go through the wheel well or underneath to unclip it. Well, now the clip's a little busted, and it's pretty rigid, so I'm just going to line it up, shove the airbox back on. Should be fine. But it said less connectors. I did accidentally break the mount on this side. For some reason, oh, there's only 1 screw, and I pulled a little bit and heard a snap. Like I said, it's just what happens. Arizona car plus Michigan cola. It's not the end of the world. But this is cylinder 1. This is the one that was misfiring. So I thought it would be fun to use the right socket and then see what it looks like when it comes out. I'm gonna guess it looks like the others because it wasn't misfiring a ton. Like it didn't even throw a code until I let it idle for a long time and it really stumbled. And you could feel it on acceleration if you really hammered it like up a hill. Kind of pulse a little bit here and there. So I expect the plug to look okay. Just, they're old. Uh-oh, Harrison's here. Everybody run. What's up, Psycho? You gonna shut the door?
Here.
What?
I just need to put my coat on.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll watch him. Harrison! What's up, dog? You got juice? Yeah, nothing crazy. Yeah, it's a black car, isn't it? It's Dad's car now.